So not only did Mark Epstein, the brother of Jeffrey Epstein, call in a tip to the FBI saying that he was about ready to name names and that he believed that President Trump authorized his unaliving, but this led me down a rabbit hole that makes me believe that I have not only been able to identify which of the lawyers actually wrote this postcard, but I also have good reason to believe that Jeffrey's last will was actually forged by his lawyers. From week one, Mark Epstein linked Trump and Bannon to his brother's death. In the days after Epstein's death, his brother even reached out to somebody in the government because not only was he getting threatening emails, his brother had linked him to a YouTube of a mock interview between Jeff and Bannon. Mark saying that there were some comments that he made about Trump and their relationship that Mark thought were of interest. That was 3 or 4 months prior, but at the time of this email, it had been taken down. Whoever was sending those threatening emails was routing it through the UK, and a year later, they're tracking it to some fraudster in Iran. Pause this, read this, it's interesting, it's long, I don't have time to read it. Now, even though Epstein updated his will a day before his death, it wasn't filed until August 15th in the Virgin Islands. It should also be noted that the raid of Epstein's island didn't happen until August 12th, 2 days after his death. That was a search warrant that was in works when he died. Fast forward to December of 2019, there was apparently a hearing for the Virgin Islands who were suing Jeffrey Epstein's estate, where they, the estate and or trustees, have identified that the sole beneficiary is Epstein's brother. It was also said by Bennett Maskowitz, who was the lawyer for the trustees of his will and testament. It was close enough to Epstein that he was getting his medication faxed to that office. But if this trust hadn't been set up that same day, his brother would have gotten everything. Lucky for Indike and Khan, who get a cool $250,000 each in this deal. I was able to find an unredacted version of the attorney log, and it just so happens the only days that we are missing are from the 8th and the 9th. By far, the two lawyers that visited Epstein almost every day were Talley and Cologne, who were the witnesses for the last will and testament. But then suddenly it hit me that Talley's handwriting I had seen before. Notice how it was signed J. Epstein? Whenever she would sign in, she was the only lawyer that would refer to him as J. Epstein. If you look at this J, it looks like the top of that J. And if you look at the bottom of this J, it looks like the bottom of that J. Ignore the black parts, I had to get creative so I wouldn't get dinged. But this is Talley signing at the bottom of Epstein's will. Look at the 7, look at the 5, look at the 6. The Z in Arizona looks like that 7. Look at this N. And for me, the most telling is that U. Compared to the U in Tucson, the N down here with this N. And of course, to remind everybody that this is my own opinions, I am not an expert in handwriting, I just have eyes, and everything in this video is alleged, but the postcard led me down the rabbit hole of Epstein's will. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have never seen a last will and testament where they just initial every page and initial the signature. And in fact, if you look right here, you can see where they have whited out where a person usually signs their printed name, especially when we're talking about billions of dollars in assets here. I've never seen any legal document where you didn't also sign and date your name and at least print your name somewhere. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I mean, hello, even the affidavit at the bottom of the will has the two lawyers printing their names. I mean, even from page to page, none of these signatures even look alike. You see, these two on the top right here are Jeffrey's actual signature, one from his non-prosecution agreement and the other from some deed he was transferring. Different, but clearly similar. Now, this one is from the bottom of his will, and this one's from the affidavit for his will. Not even close. And then these are the initials on the pages of the will, which look nothing like the signature, which looks nothing like his original signature. The notary just said that Epstein was personally known to them. And what's funny is if you go to the original will and testament, I would bet my life that those are two different color pens. Not to mention you can see the hesitation marks on this signature. See where that blotting is and where that blotting is? That means somebody had to stop and think about what came next.